Hello, I'm CraftyAndy, and these are my thoughts. People are super upset over the long list of comedians that are out performing in Saudi Arabia Riyadh's comedy festival, which includes people like Bill Burr, Dave Anti-Trans Chapelle, a bunch I never heard of, and Chris Tucker. As I see video after video from many people I watch calling them out, I just feel a little underwhelmed by the overall attitude of it all. This just comes off as a lot of lefties falling into virtue signaling, liberal style hand wringing. Reading up on books like White Flight, Manufacturing Consent, The People's History of the United States, no country is innocent. What does this affect one way or the other for them to show up and bring some laughs to the people who happen to live there? Will them all backing out push the Saudi government towards more progressive ideas? Adidas?
There's nothing worse than when a dumb person reads, because now they think they're smart.
Will them all backing out push the Saudi government towards more progressive ideas? As far as I'm concerned, if you are a comedian offered some money to do a performance, an actor, artist, fucking do it. Because I don't see it as a sort of endorsement of government policy. Otherwise, why is anyone performing in this country, whether you live here or not? Right? By that definition, by that logic, any festival, any concert, any artist doing art gallery shows would then somehow, in a way, endorse the government policies the United States is enforcing right now when it comes to things like police and ICE. We live on a capitalist planet where money determines if you live or die. Now, to those that refuse, for whatever reason, fine. Ultimately, I could lie and say for sure one way or the other if I would take a bag full of money to do something for a country that's socially worse than the United States, that would have me killed if I dare say the wrong thing. I haven't been put into that position, so I'm not about to set myself up to be a hypocrite like Bill Burr did.
Because no one ever raises money for terrorists, right? I guess, unless you do a comedy show in like Saudi Arabia. Isn't that what they do? You know, that's how they raise money, with their filthy fucking oil money.
The closest I ever came to something like that, though, was a producer for a company that wanted to do a documentary on furries for television. I emailed them some links to art and videos I did around the time, and the person I was talking to asked me a bunch of questions like, "Do your friends know? Does your family know?" Basically, he had no interest in who I was as a person or what I did creatively. They were more interested in manufacturing some drama for entertainment. No way in hell I'm going to play up some caricature version of myself for what? A little money? Recognition? And then have the eye of judgmental anonymity on me and everyone associated with me? No thanks. Back on this topic though, comedians performing in Riyadh's Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival. Instead of holding the workers to the fire, like when WWE had wrestling events in Saudi Arabia some time ago, I'm more for holding the organizations and powers that be responsible that make these things happen. Why is this the thing that gets a bunch of lefties to come out and wag their fingers like a bunch of limp dick prick liberals, as opposed to the fact that the USA is an active ally to the government, providing them with weapons, making them a huge money fill, and allowing the current theocratic nightmare rulers to still be in place? A prime example of pressure working is when Uganda had a kill the gays bill the first time. A bunch of financial aid coming from the United States was in line to be withheld, and then they backed off from it. They came back later with some exceptions to the death penalty, and it got passed anyways, but that's besides the point. We should have seen the big banks block all transactions coming out of this country, sanctions from our government, and have no dealings with the current rulers of Saudi Arabia until their human rights at least get up to speed. At least up to 1995 when it comes to women, black, and queer folk, alright? Just seems like a misdirection of energy from those who have a lot more influence compared to me, and I think the best thing right now would be to redirect those talking about it to the ones that allow the powers to be to afford to hold such an event in the first place. This is something that should have been called for a long time ago, before this comedy festival was even a thought in someone's brain. There shouldn't be a single cent going to the current regime there from anyone until they improve. You want to participate in global trade? have some standards in how you treat fellow human beings. But no. Instead, we get embargoes on places like Cuba and bombings in Venezuela. You know, places that treat their citizens far better in many respects compared to the United States. But these are just my thoughts. If you like some of the art you see here, it's on sale at the store. I got more videos on the way in the works. I'm just trying to line up a whole catalog right now. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for sticking around.